Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The first hint came subtly. Our joint account, once brimming and seldom a topic of concern, started showing irregular dips. It was a Tuesday evening, and the cold glow of the computer screen highlighted the furrows on my brow as I scrolled through our bank statement. My finger hovered over an unfamiliar transaction, a boutique hotel in Charleston, a place we had talked about visiting, but never did. "Sam," I called out, trying to keep my voice steady, "do you know anything about this charge for $400 at the Seaside Inn?" From the kitchen, the clinking of dishes paused. "Might have been a mistake, Matt. Call the bank tomorrow." Her voice floated in, airy and dismissive. But the discrepancies gnawed at me. Over the next few weeks, more anomalies surfaced: expensive gifts, first-class tickets to Paris, reservations at Michelin-starred restaurants, luxuries that neither my wife nor I had seemingly enjoyed together. One evening, as shadows danced across our living room from the flickering TV, I confronted her. "Sam, we need to talk. Where is all this money going? These aren't small amounts." She perched on the edge of the sofa, her fingers nervously tugging at the hem of her skirt. "Matt, it's not what you think." But it was exactly as I feared. Days turned into heated exchanges and silent meals until the truth spilled out one rainy night, her words slicing through the drumming of rain against our windows. "I've been seeing someone else," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper, her gaze fixed on the darkened windowpane. The world seemed to stop. Betrayal, that bitter pill, lodged itself in my throat. All our years together, the promises made in the soft glow of dawn, shattered in that single confession. "You've been using our money for him." My voice broke, the hurt evident. Sam nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry, Matt. I never meant for it to go this far." But sorry wasn't enough. The trust we built was demolished with each clandestine meeting she recounted. Her betrayal became a poison, seeping through the crevices of my broken heart. As she sobbed, a plan began to form, dark and unwavering. I would not let this deception go unpunished. If she had chosen to break our vows, then I would ensure these actions would come back to haunt her. "We're done, Sam. I want a divorce," I declared, my voice resolute amidst the storm. Her pleas fell on deaf ears as I walked away, the cold night air a balm to my seething heart. This was just the beginning. Sam would soon realize the cost of her betrayal, not just in broken promises but in a life meticulously dismantled by the man she once vowed to cherish. The early morning sun filtered through the blinds, casting sharp lines across the bedroom floor, a stark reminder of the division now between us. My resolve from the night before turned into action as I gathered the necessary documents from our shared files. Bank statements, credit card receipts, those tangible proofs of Sam's betrayal lay spread out before me on the dining table. I picked up my phone, hesitating only for a moment before dialing the number of a well-recommended attorney known for handling cases steeped in marital deceit. The phone rang, cutting sharply through the quiet of our now divided home. "Good morning, Walters and Cohen, how may I assist you?" a crisp voice answered. "Hi, I need to speak with Mr. Cohen." "It's urgent," I responded, my voice firm, masking the tumult inside. "May I ask who's calling?" "Matt Harper. It's regarding a divorce case." There was a brief pause, the shuffling of papers audible over the line. "One moment, Mr. Harper." The line went silent for a minute before a deeper voice came on. "Mr. Harper, this is Daniel Cohen. I understand you're facing some marital issues." "Yes, Mr. Cohen. My wife has been unfaithful, using our finances to support her affair. I want to pursue the most aggressive legal course available. We can definitely help you with that. Why don't we schedule a meeting to discuss this further? I'll need all the evidence you can provide." "Thank you, I'll bring everything." I also want to ensure she doesn't drain our accounts further. Can we freeze them? That's a wise step. We can file for a temporary injunction as soon as you sign the retainer. I'll prepare everything. The call ended with a meeting set for the next day. I sat back, a mix of relief and stern determination settling in. This was just the legal beginning of my retaliation. Later, as I was sorting through more evidence, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find Sam, her eyes red-rimmed and face pale. "Matt, can we talk?" Her voice trembled, a stark contrast to the confidence with which she had once handled our finances. "There's nothing left to discuss, Sam. You made your choice. Please, I know I've made a terrible mistake. We can fix this." "No, Sam. There's no we anymore. You should leave." "But is there anything you need to collect?" I interrupted, not willing to entertain any pleas. She looked around, defeated, before whispering, "Just a few personal things." I stepped aside, watching coldly as she gathered her belongings. Each item she took was a memory, a moment in our life together now tainted by deceit. After she left, the house felt empty, hollowed out by her absence and the echo of lies. But this emptiness also brought clarity. I turned my attention back to the documents, each one a stepping stone on the path of retribution I was paving. That night, I worked late into the hours, planning each step meticulously. Sam's deception would not only cost her our marriage but her serene life. I promised myself that by the end, she would understand the true cost of betrayal. The air was crisp as I stepped out of the cab and into the brisk morning that awaited me at the steps of Cohen's office. My fingers tightened around the handle of my briefcase, the weight of the documents inside grounding me as I approached the glass doors. Inside, the reception area was sleek and professional, a stark contrast to the turmoil that churned within me. The receptionist nodded courteously and directed me to a conference room where Daniel Cohen awaited, his presence formidable even before words were exchanged. "Mr. Harper, good to see you. Please, have a seat," Cohen greeted, his handshake firm. We sat across from each other at the large oak table, documents neatly arranged in front of him. "I've reviewed the preliminary information you sent over," Cohen began, flipping open a folder. "It's quite comprehensive. We have a strong case for financial misconduct and adultery. The court will not look kindly on her actions." I nodded, my lips pressed in a thin line. "What are the next steps?" "We'll file for divorce on the grounds of infidelity and apply for a freeze on all joint assets. I'll also need to draft a request for full disclosure of her financial activities over the past year," Cohen explained, his pen poised over the paperwork. "Do it," I said without hesitation. "I want to make sure she can't squander any more of what we built together." Cohen's nod was one of understanding. "I'll need your signature here, here, and here," he instructed, pointing out the lines on various forms. As I signed each page, the finality of each stroke was liberating yet heavy with consequence. Cohen collected the papers and stood, extending his hand again. "We'll begin immediately. I'll keep you updated on every step." "Thank you, Mr. Cohen. I appreciate your efficiency." Leaving the office, my phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. I answered hesitantly. "Matt? It's me, Sam. We need to talk. It's urgent." "What is it?" I asked, my tone guarded. "It's about the divorce. Please, can we meet? I think there's a lot we should discuss in person, not through lawyers." I paused, weighing her words. "Fine. Tomorrow, the coffee shop on 5th, 10 a.m. "Thank you, Matt. I'll be there." The call ended, and a mixture of anticipation and strategy filled my thoughts. This meeting could be a ploy, or perhaps a plea for reconciliation, but I was past the point of forgiveness. Whatever her reasons, I was ready, armed not just with legal power but an emotional shield fortified by betrayal. That night, I laid out my strategy for the meeting, playing through various scenarios. Every possibility circled back to the same conclusion: this was a part of the plan, another move in this chess game of broken vows and retribution. As dawn broke the next day, I was ready, my resolve as sharp as the morning air. The stage was set not just for confrontation but for a calculated display of control. The upcoming encounter promised to further the deepening plot of revenge, each move calculated to lead to my ultimate vindication. The morning was bleak, with overcast skies mirroring the storm that brewed within me as I made my way to the coffee shop. I arrived early, securing a secluded table at the back. The noise of the bustling cafe drowned out the quieter sound of my racing thoughts. Today would be pivotal, one way or another. Sam arrived promptly, her appearance frazzled, a stark departure from the composed image she once upheld. She spotted me and approached, her movements hesitant. "Matt," she started, her voice a whisper as she took the seat across from me. "Thank you for coming. Let's cut to the chase, Sam. What do you want to talk about that couldn't be handled through our lawyers?" I asked, my tone icy. She took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly as they clung to her coffee cup. "I wanted to explain, to apologize for everything. I know it's late, but you deserve to hear it from me." Her words were meant to be conciliatory, but they sparked a different emotion in me. "Apologies don't change what you did, Sam. You betrayed me, our marriage." "I know, and I'm so sorry, Matt. But there's something you need to know about him." Her eyes flicked around nervously. "What about him?" My curiosity piqued despite my resentment. He's been using me, Matt. Not just emotionally, but for our money. It was all a setup. He knew about our finances, knew how to manipulate. I found out too late that he's done this before. To others. Her revelation was a bombshell, one that shifted the gears of my plan. "So, you were deceived as well. That doesn't excuse your part in this." "No, it doesn't. But I thought maybe, just maybe, you should know who you're really up against." I leaned back, processing her words. This new enemy wasn't just a faceless betrayer now, he was a predator. And I knew what I had to do. "I appreciate the information, Sam. And since you've been honest with me today, I'll be honest with you. I'm not just going to let this go. I'm going to make sure he pays, and you're going to help me." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "You're going to give me everything on him. Names, places, other victims. We take him down together." Sam nodded, a mix of fear and resolve in her eyes. "Okay, yes. I'll help you." The next few weeks were a whirlwind. With Sam's reluctant assistance, I gathered all necessary evidence against her lover. We exposed him through legal channels, ensuring his financial schemes and emotional manipulations were laid bare for the authorities. His arrest was swift, his fall from grace spectacular. As for Sam, once the dust settled, there was nothing left to say. The betrayal was too deep, the wounds too raw. "We're done here," I told her outside the courthouse on the day of his conviction. "I don't ever want to see you again." Sam nodded, tears in her eyes. "I understand. Goodbye, Matt." I turned away, the cold satisfaction of revenge numbing the lingering pain. She was a part of my past now, a chapter closed with ruthless finality. I walked away, the weight of the betrayal and the acts of retribution finally lifting. The storm had passed, and in its wake, I was alone but unburdened. The end of our story was marked not by forgiveness, but by a harsh and decisive victory over those who wronged me.